that there was a genocide against the Biafra people.
Right.
The who were trying, the Igbo people who were trying to form an independent nation of Biafra. They wanted to be separate from the country that the British Empire had imposed on us, which was this country of Nigeria, where they kind of took a bunch of independent nations who don't have anything to do with each other, don't even speak each other's language, don't relate. Many of them were even enemies and warring at the time, smushed them all together and drew these arbitrary lines around them and called them countries and named those countries.
Right.
And then said, now y'all get along and do a country for us and be a union for us. And then go through, contentious, bloody independence processes that never really yield any real independence. You're still part of a commonwealth afterwards.
True.
And you have the eternal meddling in your affairs and the eternal extraction of your resources and the eternal fomenting of divisiveness and infighting in order to be able to control you. This is what an oppressor does, a colonizer does. These are tactics and strategies of dominance.
Right.
We were subjected to that as a larger unit of Nigeria. And then when the Igbo people said, we want our own thing, let's go and do that. Well, it so happened to be that the territory that this new country of Biafra was going to be in included very, very rich oil reserves. And the British were not going to let go of that.
Wow.
And the people that they had put in power, their puppet Nigerian governments, weren't going to do that either because they needed it for the Nigerian project.
Right.
The Nigerian state has been at war with NDI-IGBO and it has not stopped since 1966. Not that it has ever stopped being at war with every other part of Nigeria, but NDI-IGBO has been more or less like the testing ground for all of the evils of the Nigerian state. If it does not find the way to make peace based on justice with NDI-IGBO, the persecution of a man who merely speaks and acts on behalf of a people merely guarantees his martyrdom, and it merely ensures the end of this system. Now, if we have said that the only validity that the Nigerian state has in holding on to Mazi is a function of the fact that he has repudiated the legitimacy of the Nigerian state, and as I do the same as well, the Nigerian state is illegitimate. It is essentially, as I have said, a slave plantation. How does it explain that in the same country there are so many people who are busy strolling around with AK-49, AK-47s, M16, all kind of arms enabled, mollycoddled by the Nigerian state? Why is it possible that a Sheikh Gumi can be speaking on behalf of the terrorists, but it is impossible for Buhari's ears, which ears the Gumi persuasions, not to hear what Ohanes NDI-IGBO have been asking of him? Free the man, engage in fruitful deliberations. If the man has adopted and picked up arms against the state, it's because the state itself has never taken his leg off his neck. I keep remembering, and I've repeated this today, I believe it was General Philip Effiong when he was delivering the instrument of surrender. I believe he said to, was it Obasanjo or Gowon? I can't remember who now. He said, I believe it was Obasanjo actually. He said, treat these people well or their children will rebel against you. He wasn't a prophet. He was merely a man who knew the consequences of injustice. The first condition of the human spirit is a constant yearning and quest for justice. If you do not treat a people with justice, you're demanding that they must self-abnegate and accept a state of slavery for you to have peace. Nigeria will not have peace until there is justice available to all and sundry.